Present perfect tense. What is the present perfect tense? The present perfect tense is an English verb tense used for past actions that are related to or continue into the present. It's easily recognized by the auxiliary verbs have and has. Of all the English verb tenses, the present perfect is one of the most complicated because there's not always a direct translation in other languages. So, in this video, we explain everything you need to know to use it perfectly, including how and when to use it. The present perfect is used to describe an action that was completed in the very recent past, expressed by just. For example, I have just finished my work. Or, the teacher has just corrected the test. It is also used to describe an action when the time is not important. For example, he has read War and Peace. Present perfect is also used to describe an action or situation that started in the past and continues in the present. For example, I have lived in Bristol since 1984, and I still do. The last usage is that it is used for an action which happened in an unknown or unimportant past time, but the results or the effects of it are obvious in the present. For example, someone has painted the chair. Forming the present perfect tense. The present perfect of any verb is composed of two elements, the appropriate form of the auxiliary verb to have in the present tense, plus the past participle of the main verb that is formed in the same way as the past simple, by adding the ending ed to the verb. For irregular verbs, you must study them by heart. The structure of the present perfect in the affirmative form consists of subject plus the auxiliary verb, have, conjugated in the present simple have or has, plus the main verb in the past participle form. For example, she has visited her aunt. The negative form. For negative sentences, we insert not between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. For example, she hasn't visited her aunt. As for the interrogative or forming questions, we exchange places of the subject and the auxiliary verb by starting with verb to have, followed by the subject, then the main verb in the past participle. For example, has she visited her aunt? So, what are the keywords for the present perfect tense? The first keyword is already. Already is used in affirmative sentences. For example, the cat has already drunk the milk. Just. Just is used in affirmative sentences to show that an action finished a few minutes earlier. For example, I have just posted the letter. Lately. Lately comes at the end of the sentences. For example, I have read a few stories lately. Recently. Recently is used in affirmative sentences. For example, we have moved to a new house recently. So far. So far is used in affirmative sentences. For example, I have typed 3 letters so far. Ever. Ever is used in affirmative sentences and interrogative sentences. For example, have you ever been to Italy? Never. Never is used to get a negative meaning. For example, George has never seen a play at the theater. Yet. Yet is used in interrogative or negative sentences. For example, she hasn't found the missing bag yet. Or have you heard the news yet? Since. Since means from a starting point in the past. For example, my dog has been ill since Monday. For. For shows a duration of time. For example, I have worked as a nurse for 7 years. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share it with your friends. Goodbye.